details. I know we're going to have some extra people joining us, but if you were on, hop on camera, hop on audio, open up. We're 2 minutes early, but we can get this party rolling. Let's get chatting. Like I said, guys, so I hold this in kind of a little bit more roundtable training. We go back and forth, kind of mastermind type methods. So I know we'll have some people that'll join us afterwards. But very cool. I got my morning group on with me. It's been so long, guys. I've missed you so much. All right. What I want to talk about then today, because I actually had this request from someone the other day. So we wanted to talk about niches and selecting and getting going. And so if I remember right, and Genevieve, if you're there, hop on camera, audio, that'd be great. It's easier to participate that way. So what I want to do is kind of riff with you guys. I want to get an idea kind of where you're at, maybe a little bit more what the experience is, and what you're thinking as far as a niche is, and where you're caught up, if that works. And if you guys listen, we're going to talk about, and hopefully everyone's got a little bit different idea, even if it's not exactly the same niche that you're in. Listen, because I promise there will be things that we talk about that you'll be able to pick up and apply. Independent of where you're at, right? I have picked up some of the best little nuggets. Anytime, here's how many of you guys have gone to like a mastermind event, been like to a 2 or 3 day event that's like a training on business? You guys done anything like that? Anytime you do, if you go to a major event like that, so if you go to a big event, if you, let's see, who's popping on? Can't come on video this morning, but I'm here. Okay, Genevieve, if you have questions, you can do audio or you can type in the chat. Joanna, you're just saying a general no, or what was that? Just a no.
I've never been to one.
Oh, okay. Did I ask a question? I did. You guys on this. So I typically, there are certain topics that I'm super passionate about. I mentioned earlier about getting on a soapbox and running, and I will do that. But there is a little bit of ADHD that's there, and a lot of entrepreneurs have that. It's one of the reasons I love working online, because I can work for 45 minutes, get up, go away, come back, and work on a different portion of my business and keep things moving. So anyway, what we want to talk about today, Matthew, Veronica, welcome, guys. So off topic, I didn't receive email yesterday with the replay. So I think the email here's I'm going to give you guys, if you want, I'm going to give you the link for yesterday's video. Who'd like that? There was only a few of us on there. But here is the link. If you guys want to copy this and watch yesterday's, and we may do it, that's the link for yesterday's. May do the topic again, just talking about defining success, and then gave a little bit of homework. So as far as the replays go, so we're kicking these calls off, guys. When I mentioned that we're starting the momentum process fresh, I meant that. We really are kicking things off. And so these calls are performance calls. There's 2 ways that we're looking at doing it. We're either going to put it on a YouTube channel, or we're going to set it like in the back office where there'll be, when you guys log in, you'll be able to access the recordings that way. We're trying to figure out the easiest way to do it. So selecting a niche. What I want to do, I want to go around the room. I want to get an idea where you guys are at and where you're stuck when it comes to selecting. Is it, I've got too many choices? Is it that it's niche down too much? I mean, what are you guys thinking? Matthew, we chatted a little bit about niche yesterday, so it's a perfect call for you. Veronica, Rachel, welcome. Selecting a niche is important, and I mentioned this on a call, I think yesterday, because you don't want to, the partner program and then the products that you've got access to that you can white label and what you can sell can work for any niche. It really can. The problem with that is trying to market to every single niche, or trying to write marketing copy or content or anything else to connect with an audience that is too wide, right? And you run into some pretty big obstacles that way. So when it comes to selecting a niche, what's been your biggest obstacle to this point? If you guys can pop on video, that's great. Right now we've got Ian and Joanna, which is awesome. But so Ian, right now, have you selected a niche? Do you know what niche you want to work in?
Yeah, I've thought about hairdressing and beauty because of the numbers in Australia of people in that business, just in Australia, without going global. Hairdressing.
Hairdressing, that's right. Okay.
Hairdressing, yeah.
Okay.
And there seems to be, in Australia, 100,000 hairdressers, registered businesses.
Okay.
In Australia alone.
That's a lot.
A bit of experience with the hairdressers. Okay. And checking on Facebook, there seems to be a fair bit of activity on Facebook with them. So it's either that or...
Okay. So you've done a little bit of research, and that's important, guys. So we've got hairdressers. Joanna's talking about holistic therapies, yoga, sound therapy, crystal vibration. Okay. Genevieve. Yes, Genevieve. The fitness coaching, yoga, and online instructors. I remember yesterday that popping up. Financial planners and CPAs. Okay, Matthew, welcome, sir. Good to have you on. We got our Cardone hat with us, Mr. 10X. So good. That's a great book too, guys, by the way. 10X by Grant Cardone. That's a book that'll kick you in the butt. So, all right, selecting a niche. What are some things that you guys think you can do? And Ian's done a couple of them, but what are some things you guys think that you can do to select a niche? And then what's been your biggest obstacle, right? Before I get in and say, do this, what do you guys think? Haley?
So because I'm trying to do two things at once, one, yes, make money online, but I also am wanting to do this to provide leads for businesses that want to be sold. I'm kind of battling between my personal passion, which is alternative health, but should I take this opportunity to be like, okay, pick a passion, or should I be like, should I develop my power team? Should I be going after accountants because every business owner has an accountant? And should
are you in BNI?
I was.
Okay.
And so
you mentioned the way that you were talking about a power team. That's why I brought that up. Does BNI? Has anyone else ever heard of BNI? Business Network International. It's a networking group that's live and in person. I was a BNI director a few years back. That's why I brought that up.
Years.
So developing a power team, and this is something that we'll talk about at some point, because when you get into marketing, it would be the equivalent online of like a joint venture or an affiliate, right? Like you can be an affiliate for someone else can market your products. There's a lot of different ways that you can talk about it, right? It's semantics. But when you see that online, when someone's talking about, well, I've got a joint venture with, right? Or I'm an affiliate of. So like I've mentioned that I do the addiction treatment centers. If one of them refers one of their friends, right, then I give a referral fee for that, right? And then there's others that are within that realm that serve kind of the same type of clientele. And like an addiction counselor may refer that center, and the center may refer the counselor to me for web services. And so there's, things that I put in place like that. So now deciding, Matthew, I talked about this yesterday. I mentioned it. She's asking essentially, I've got a business and then I've got a lead gen and I want to do both. So do you remember what I said yesterday?
Sorry, man. I got a brutal cold. You said yes. That's what you said. You said yes.
Right? I said yes.
Yes.
So, and what I meant was, so you don't necessarily need to put one aside, but if one of them is going to be, so like Matthew, I know Genevieve was talking about, Joanna may be in the same boat. Like if you're trying to maybe build out a course or you're trying to build out the structure for something else, some other kind of service, right? Mm-hmm. So like a membership site or something along those lines, a membership site, a program, like it's a self-development program, right? Like I put one together and I have a real simple one that I've sold. And then I'm putting together a much more complicated one, right? Like I'm not going to put my marketing that can generate revenue for me on hold while I do all this other stuff, right? So if you've got a way to generate money, do that, right? And then while you're doing that, then you can set it the other one too, right? And if you're talking about being able to generate leads for a business that you already serve, like if you've got business clients, if you've got clients that are already coming to you, then this can be lead gen for them, and then that depends on how you're already charging for your service. So if you want to provide lead gen because you only get paid if it closes, then provide the lead gen. If you're going to provide the lead gen in this way, like if this is a tool and they want it because that's what they're wanting to do, or maybe you can show them how to do this and then it's going to help sell their business better because they've got extra marketing going on and more leads coming in. You say, yeah, I can do this for $1,000. And it'll, if we, it's going to take 90 days or it's going to take 6 months to sell your business anyway. How about we generate more leads in the meantime? And then it increases your value. I can set that up for you for $1,000. I can set it up for you for $2,000, right? There's a number of different ways that you can approach it. Never shut things off, especially if it's something like this that can be automated. Does that make sense?
Right.
Right. And so we're kind of talking about the same, in the same thing. If you're helping businesses, guys, and this is essentially what we're doing, is because there's different kinds of businesses, right? You have an online business that's fully automated with it's affiliate marketing, let's say, right? Selling an ebook, selling an e-course, something like that. That's an online, fully automated. There you go. You have an online service business, which is kind of the niche that you're stepping into, like what I do. Like I've got this is one of the things that I do, but then I also have white labeled social media management. I have white labeled website building, right? So that's something, I don't do it, but I've got that service that I offer, and this is just an add-on, right? And then I can add it on to them and charge them for it. And if I'm doing any of the other things, it's also helping me generate extra leads for them, which looks better anyway.
Right.
Does this make sense? And so it's a differentiator for you. So like, and this is something, if you're going to work with hairdressers, if you're going to work with Genevieve yoga instructors, if you're going to work with whatever, then you can walk in and you can say, okay, so I can sell this, or I can sell you this and help you increase your business overall. And so this then becomes just a part of your package, or it's you've got your package A and then this is the premium, right? I mean, there's a number of different ways that you can go. It just depends on how automated you want that. So that's kind of it. That's not just the niche, that's how to utilize the tool. Is everybody with me? You got questions on any of that? Kinda.
What do
you think?
What I was trying to ask is that because earlier I said alternative health, and that is truly my passion. I geek out on YouTube all the time for it. My mind always goes there. But because what I'm doing with this is that I'm selling businesses and matching them with new buyers. I mean, I can't say that my niche is businesses. That would be
that would be 2 funnels, right? It'd be 2 pages, right?
Well, my logic was thinking that businesses is just too broad, so I would need to pick a niche in the fact that I'm selling any kind of business.
So right now you're helping businesses sell themselves. Do you help any business that comes to you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a brand new business broker. I just got licensed. So I'm licensed in Washington State with my real estate license, but I'm thinking of even niching on, because I could sell online businesses all day long because they don't require a real estate license. It gets a little tricky.
Selling an online business, there's a lot of online services that do that. Okay. That people can go to a marketplace and buy it, an existing, like a Shopify store or an Amazon business or something like that. Sure. And so it's it's something there. So selling the business, that's where you decide, do I want to go general until I find my niche, or do I want to decide on a niche and roll?
Well, do I want to take a niche that I'm interested, or do I go, no, my niche really needs to be like accountants? Because the accountants would be a great list I would have, to where then I could repurpose. Yeah, that could be. Well, that would be a great. Like you were talking about, like the Power Team. That's a great partnership, right? Like right. I that's where I started. So like when I started doing business marketing, business coaching, first thing I did is I went out and I found some accountants in the area, and they got me some clients to get my business going. So when I started coaching businesses on how to market, I went out, in the real world, and this was before COVID,
So now it's a little bit different. Your approach has to be a little bit different, but you can set it up you still automate most of it, but you reach out, you say, I'll help whoever. And that's kind of what I did. And then I found a couple that kind of became passion points for me, like with the addiction. Not that I've had it, but I've had so many friends and family members. And at one point I had a web developer guy that would build sites out for me. He's had issues and he was always on and off the wagon. Right. And it got to the point where I was like, I threw him and he got into a center. And then because of that, I connected with that center. I started helping them with their marketing. And then that's where that led. Right. So a lot of times if you want to help all the businesses you can until you find your niche, that's okay. And you position yourself then as the marketing expert until you find your niche. Right. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Guys, and so, all right, we had a question about affiliate marketing. Part of what Blake's got here is affiliate marketing, right? Part of a number of you guys came in through Bob Proctor. That's affiliate marketing, right? It's a big part of what all of this connection is. Connect with as many businesses as you can, especially those that would fit into what BNI, Business Network International, they talk about the power team. Those are essentially businesses that also do business with your ideal customer, okay? So if you can identify that. Now, how do I identify a customer? What do we get into here? Everybody know what like a target avatar is, right? Like what your ideal customer would be. Everybody heard that? Anybody not understand what that is? We're not talking about the, blue people in the movie. So it's you identify who they are, what they are, everything else. Now, when we're looking at this, and this is where like Blake talks about with the passion, one of the reasons it's easier to start with a type of niche or a type of business that serves something you're passionate about because you already speak the language, right? So MLM would be part of home-based businesses, right? And I would kind of approach it like that. So, and Matthew, some of the stuff that you're already doing, the personal coaching, the personal development, those people that start, how many of you guys have been in an MLM, network marketing, right? I've done it, right? I grew up in, my parents were in Amway, right? How many of you guys did Amway? Anybody? Okay. So I grew up on the daily complex vitamins, the vitamin B's, right? The liquid organic cleaner, right? All of that stuff. If you're in one now, that's fine. This can be, right? If you're in an MLM and you want to target other people to bring into the MLM, this can still be a great thing for it because typically MLMs don't let you have your own site. You're essentially an affiliate for them, right? And so you can't do SEO on your own site. You can't do all of this stuff. So you have to almost set up your own site. And then this could be a funnel to show people how to generate revenue for themselves, how to own their own business. And then you would take them to a landing page and you have a video talking about how to do all of this stuff. And this could then be a tool. Like I've got a friend who is in doTERRA, right? The essential oils. We've all seen them, right? I've got them. And one of his things, his whole team, he helps them set up a landing page and marketing and other stuff. And if they want to buy it, he'll charge them. If not, there's some basic things that he gives. But you guys can use this to set yourself up as an expert in marketing and use that use the ebook that Blake's got and customize it, but then, get to the point where you can write your own small one to go into different things like that. Right? Does that make sense? When we're looking at a niche, the reason you go into passion is because you speak that language, right? You've got to speak the vernacular. When I was in, you got to be able to speak with your audience. And that's the key point. Okay. One thing to remember. So I was having a conversation with, and Genevieve, I'll talk to you about the fitness coaches in a second, because, and you could maybe start there and then bring it in, or maybe have different offerings for the different ones, right? Like here's one for trainers and yoga instructors, right? There's a number of different ways that you can go with it. And then developing a tier for coaching. And I know, Matthew, you had mentioned you do some personal coaching as well. Having tiers and then building that out. I'm putting oil on as I'm talking. Sorry.
Smells lovely.
So, building out so you can have a group and then you can automate things. And there's places that you can do some of that. Like there's a lot of that that's available. White label, right? You don't have to create a lot of that stuff. when it comes to marketing. The reason though that you develop out that language with them is because of what happened yesterday. I'm talking with the addiction center, right? And who runs most businesses? They're technicians or they're professionals in their field, right? So if you're talking with an auto repair shop, typically, who is the owner of an auto repair shop? A repair technician, right? If you're talking to Ian, you're talking about hairdressers, a salon, who is it that owns the salon? Typically, it's not someone that understands marketing. It's a stylist, right? Yeah. Right. Haley, all of these different businesses, you're dealing with the technician. You know, when I'm dealing with these addiction centers, who am I dealing with? Doctors. And I'm talking to them, and we've got this site built out, and then we're doing the social media, and we're getting ready to set up the Facebook funnels the way you guys are familiar now with Blake stuff. And they're going, oh, well, we've got to have this. And well, we need to explain what, here, I've got my notes. No, it needs to say mental health, residential, primary care may not be the substance, like it was like this. And they wanted it to be essentially a medical brochure, right? People don't go to the website for that kind of information. They go to say, you've got, and the headlines and everything, the way Blake Singh builds it out, right? And the way the Facebook is set up. And if you look at his page, it's amazing at this. It's the headline. And what is the headline supposed to do? The headline gives you, how many of you guys have heard of the USP, the unique selling position, right? Yeah. There's another way that I've heard of that. So that's one way to talk about it. I talk about it as the market dominating position, which is essentially not just what do you do that's a little bit unique, but what do you do that really truly makes you that much different? Plus it's people have something that they don't want, right? They have something that they don't want, and they want something that they don't have. That's kind of your headline, sub-headline in your marketing, right? And if you look at Blake's page, like that's it. It's tired of, I don't remember, because he changes it up once in a while, but it's essentially, tired of struggling online, ready to, use a tool that automates all of this, right? That's essentially the message that's coming across. In your marketing, you're doing the same thing. If I'm doing it up as a brochure, like the way these doctors were talking about, I'm not getting the marketing message across. I'm handing someone information. In your marketing, guys, and what you're doing, and the reason that you select a niche that you're passionate about is because that way you can talk to the client, because you know what they have and they don't want. You know what they want, but they don't have. And so in your marketing, you can get that across. If it's somebody else, if it's some other niche, and some, like, if I don't have any kind of emotion behind it, then not only is my marketing not going to be, so it's solving a problem on a deeper level, right? They've got a problem, and they don't want it, and you understand it. Here's your solution, and here's how they get it from you, right? So it's that whole thing, right? And so, Ian, there's different ways that you can do it. You can fully automate it, and he's asking, are you dealing one-on-one with clients that need the knowledge of their industry? If you're going to take it to that point and you want to deal one-on-one with them and maybe offer additional services, you need that knowledge. If you're not, and you want to fully 100% automate it, that's okay. But occasionally you may write some extra emails, right? Because good marketing, how many times do they say it takes to contact someone before you make a sale?
25.
21.
What's that?
21 times, I think, isn't it?
It used to be 5 to 12, right? Now it's closer to like 15 to 30 something because of the amount of because of the overflow of information that people get.
Saturation.
Right? Yeah. Our brains become saturated too. So they have to see you that many more times. It used to be that 5 to 12. And that's what they've been telling people forever. Well, welcome to 2020 when we have the attention span that's less than a goldfish on average. Less than a goldfish. I mean, less than 8 seconds, right? So I know I've lost most of you a number of times throughout this call. That's okay, right? But the reality is understanding. So understanding the industry, the 5-second rule, awesome book. So understanding the industry is important for a couple of reasons, even if you're not dealing with them one-on-one, because you're going to get people that click, that enter their email address, that don't buy right away, right? Even if it's fully automated. And we've got some emails that you can use, some templates, but at some point, guys, you'll want to, if you want to build a significant business, Ian, you threw some numbers out, that's a good business, right? Your goals, you take responsibility. I mean, if you're already at this point where you're living your life, I'm assuming you're the kind of guy that takes responsibility for your life anyway, willing to do a little work. You don't look like a guy that's scared to work, right? So
that's right.
You know, now writing an email though, it's more simple than people make it out to, because you're not writing a technical thing. You write it as if you're talking to a teenager, right? You good marketing copy. You read anybody's good marketing copy. Look, it's not super complicated. It's someone that's in the 8th to 10th grade. That's who you're writing to, right?
Yeah, no.
You're not trying to sound super intelligent on your in your emails. And I walk that I walk that line. Occasionally I sound more intelligent than I am, and sometimes I'm more intelligent than I sound. Your emails kind of go that same route, right? You're speaking to their problems and the solution they want. You're offering them what they want and the solution they like, and you're talking about real life, understanding. And Genevieve, struggling with copy is normal. That happens. So here's something I do. I read Blake's emails. I read Bob Proctor's emails. I subscribe to a number of the top guys. And why do I do it? Because they've got great copywriters, right? Russell Brunson, great copywriter. So I read his emails. I've already bought all the stuff, right? I don't read the emails, and I know at some point they're going to sell me some other stuff. But that's why I follow and every once in a while I'll follow for a while, and then I'll unsubscribe and I follow someone else, and then I'll go back to it, right? And I don't know how many of you guys have like multiple email accounts. I think I'm almost at 10 email accounts right now, depending on what business and everything else. So like I've got DGS is dgscoaching.com. That's one of my coaching sites. I have DGS Marketing Academy. I have 4, 5, 6 Gmail accounts. I have 2 Gmail accounts. The only reason I use them are for subscriptions that I've purchased and for emails that I've decided I want to subscribe to just read their email marketing copy. Like that's it, right? So understanding someone's industry though. Now, a lot of those, they're speaking directly to online marketing, Billy Jean and Russell Brunson and some of those, but then you can find some that, I've got a guy, I just bought some stamps for my father-in-law. And the guy that sold these, he's great at email marketing. I'm so surprised. It's absolutely fantastic. He sends out a daily email and it's marketing copy. And then, he'll sell a stamp or something, but it's fantastic. If you can, over time, you don't have to worry about having that skill right away. But if you can learn that skill, you will always generate revenue for yourself. But if you can do it in a niche that you enjoy, it doesn't have to be a passion project. It doesn't have to be your life's purpose that you're going to change everybody's life in that realm necessarily in that niche. But if it's something that you enjoy, you're going to be that much more successful at the niche that you choose. Does that make sense to you guys? So if I could say anything, select, if you're trying to decide what funnel to get started with, and then you're, like Matthew's talked about, we talked about it the other day, you've got an opportunity to continue to generate the revenue while you develop out whatever other project that is going to be part of it. And then you can add them in, right? Affiliate marketing, MLMs, all of those things. This is a great add-on to whatever the hell you're already doing. It's a great add-on to it. You should have an email list. If you're in an MLM, you should have an email list. If you've done any affiliate marketing, ClickBank, Legendary Marketer, or this or that or the other, you should have an email list. Send them an email with an offer. Say, look, here's what I've got. Now, once you've got your funnel set up, right? Because a couple of sales, it's money. It's free money, right? You should be emailing your list anyway. And over time, you'll build that up. Yes, Matthew.
Hey, sorry. A few things. I'm extra groggy today, and my mind's at about 30% rather than 100. So let's say I target coaches, right? That deal with I'll just pick anything. Let's say relationship coaches. And, and I can do it regional. Like I've done targeting on Facebook. I can find the avatar. I can, or build the avatar and figure it out. Can you just walk me through what happens next? So I've already built my funnel. And in the funnel, what am I selling them?
A coach. If you're targeting a coach, typically most coaches don't know a damn thing about marketing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know about writing copy. They don't know about, so like one of the customers that I have, one client that I have is they certify addiction recovery coaches, right? So someone will become a life coach or a recovery coach, certified credentialed recovery coach. So they're great at helping people. They're great at being a coach, but they don't know marketing, right? So it could simply be, hey, you're already a coach. You're struggling to get customers. You've got your certification. You've got you've got a handful of clients. You're struggling to get more customers. Let me help you with that, right? That could, it depends on what you're trying to sell them. But I mean, if you're selling this, that's what I would do. I'm a coach. I know how to get more coaches. And I could talk to you about, that's how I have some of the stuff that I have white labeled is there is a guy that markets to coaches on how to get more clients. That's what he does. He's great at it, but then you can, and then go out and do extra stuff like that. So like if that would be the first thing I would think of. Most coaches don't know how to get clients.
So I'm going to sell them a marketing.
Most businesses. Yeah. Teach them how to market. Teach them how to decide on a client, find that client, market to that client, utilize the power of social media. Because right now, most business owners are hairdressers, repairmen, coaches, whatever. They're not marketers, right? So how do I make that transition? Right? That's essentially, and then that's where you can look at, and you don't necessarily have to do this, but when you start to scale, that's where you go, I can teach you how to get more clients, or, you either know a business or you white label it and do it you have somebody else do it for them, where you don't do the work, right? You're just selling, but like I've got some monthly residuals from clients that do that, right? Does that make sense?
Sure. So in this system that we're learning here, is there something we can sell already?
To help them with marketing? Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, when we get to the business plan, we get there. It's one of the things we kind of talk about. Some people want to go that route and say, hey, I want to do X. And we've got that, and we'll get there. Right now, what I'm trying to help you guys do is, and on these calls and some of the other stuff is kind of see some specific things. So it's kind of that blend of 30,000 foot view and where you're at. So it's always that, what's my overall picture? And then what do I need to do daily to reach that overall picture? So, Matthew, who's your accountability representative? Do you know?
Paul something.
Paul. Yeah. Send him a message and I'll.
Sure.
And I'll just bring
do you remember his last name? Paul
Lives.
Lives. Yeah, that's it.
Lives. And those of you guys that were on the morning call earlier, I've messaged those of you that hadn't heard yet. I messaged them and said, hey, you need to reach out. So guys, I know there's still more questions, right? We're about 30 minutes in now. I got to wrap. Did you pick up anything? Was there something that you learned today or some kind of clarity or maybe even opened up your eyes a little bit to whether it's possibility, thoughts, direction, focus, anything? Did anybody get any value out of what we talked about today? Joanna, yes. Good. I got somebody. That's all I care about. The rest of you pound that. No, I'm kidding.
A lot more questions.
So good. Well, good. So here's the thing. Hopefully you're going to gain confused. What did I talk about on the calls? And I do this on every call. Guys, overwhelm happens. Confusion may happen. And it's going to keep working through, right? And I can talk about this and we can go on topics and I could do this for hours and hours and hours. And Blake could do it for hours and hours and hours because this is all we do now, right? And I've been doing this and I've been doing it. And I've been very lucky. A lot of it started, Haley, actually with BNI because I kind of took this position as a BNI director and I started working with businesses in all different categories. every category you can think of. And I was, I'm this guy that was in restoration and construction, and I'm talking to insurance brokers, and I'm talking to contractors, and I'm talking to CPAs, and I'm talking to, like everybody. And so you start to get different ideas. So I got to where I said, I like coaching businesses on how to do their marketing in general, right? I like this transition because I was working with so many technicians, so many business owners. They didn't know a damn thing about how to market themselves or how to get clients or how to get anything else. So I enjoyed that part. And that's, Matthew, kind of what you're talking about. Coaches, the same thing. Guys, all of your businesses that you're looking at, they may be great at what they do, but they suck at marketing in general. Okay? In general. And that's okay, because that's not what they're taught in school, right? A doctor doesn't go to school and learn how to market, right? They learn how to deal with health, right? Marketing is one of the biggest problems you have to solve for most businesses, right? If you're dealing with the businesses, if you're starting to develop out another course, or you want to do something extra, like Genevieve's talking about actually providing a course for fitness. Matthew's talking about actually doing some coaching, right? Some of you guys are talking about that, holistic or this, that's an additional thing along with the marketing, right? And if you're
we're basically selling marketing, like we're going to market for companies.
So you're either helping them learn how to market, or giving them you're selling a marketing tool, or you're going to help them learn how to market, or you're going to do marketing for them, or you're doing that plus whatever else you're doing.
And if we sell the marketing tool, that's going to be a product from Blake Newbar.
This is the easiest way to do it. You could develop your own. But that's
I don't want to do that.
Well,
I'm not.
And that's what I do. So this is a tool that I added in. So like my marketing, I've got a marketing agency, right? I'll build a website for someone from scratch. Do I build any of it? No. I'll help them write the headline, right? That market dominating position. I help them define that. I talk to them about their message and help them understand. No, we're not building a brochure. We want someone to come to your site and take action, right? And yesterday on this call, and I don't have a recording of it, I wish I did, but so you guys could hear kind of that, you're right. And it's these two partners, and they're going back and forth, and they finally kind of went, yeah, really all I care about is them picking up the phone, because they were going, oh, well, my last site has all of this, and the other site has all of this, and there's all of this information that you don't have here. And I go, how well did your other site convert? Well, it didn't. Okay. What do you want this site to do? I want it to get phone calls. All right, well then let's do that, right? They understand their business, but they don't understand this. This became, Blake's template became a phenomenal tool. So every time I do social media for one of these companies, this is a tool that we use, right?
So Andrew, just quick. So I could, let's say I decide I'm going to hit life coaches in California. And I'm just going to start with that, like a very targeted, like let's say, whatever health, like just for example, let's say I'm doing the globe. It doesn't matter, but let's say I pick a niche and it's really targeted. I'll go back to the relationship coaches, right? Mm-hmm. People that are helping people not get divorced, or to get divorced graciously, or something like that. So I could say, hey, look, you're looking for more clients. Social media is a no-brainer. You don't have a presence on social media. How would you like a package that you can self-educate with and learn how to like optimize your Facebook and your social media? And that package is what Blake Newbar has. Yeah. And so it's in that sense, it's kind of like we're affiliate selling Blake's product. Yeah.
Well, and you can call it affiliate, or you can just say I'm adding in this high ticket item to what.
Sure.
Yeah. Semantics at that point, but because talk with Paul, and then when we get to the business plan again, we'll get more in depth with some of it.
Okay, cool. That helps. Thanks, Andrew.
Some people decide to go that route and others don't. On that note, guys, again, I know there's still some confusion. Be okay with some confusion. Be okay with some overwhelm. Every time you're on one of these, anytime you're doing anything, pick up one or two things that, one or two nuggets that you can use, and you start building those up, and eventually you'll get it. Does that make sense?
So sorry, I know you got to go, Andrew, but just a last example. So I know a lot of people that work in MLM, and they're trying to, they're trying to get clients all the time, of course. And there's a couple of companies that aren't like the Amway model. There's one called Modere. It's kind of more, it doesn't matter if you go deep, you can go wide. So they're just looking for clients to buy the product.
Right. So, well, they have to now. So that's it. And this is why a lot of things have changed. And because I've got some friends that I've helped do this exact thing in different MLMs, right? Mm-hmm. And a number of different ones. They have to sell more products now. And that's one of the big reasons is because like Herbalife recently, once they reach a certain threshold of the products only being bought by distributors, then they run into their issues, right? So they have to sell products to end users. So with that said, they can use this to, where they would just position themselves as a health expert or these awesome products for this or this awesome education for that. The thing is, like I said, been part of a number of MLMs. MLMs say they teach you how to market. They say you have to do this and that. And they don't.
They're crap.
They don't. None of them teach you how to actually market. None of them give you a website. You don't have your own website. You have a portal that people can log in on. It's got a link on it. That's not a website. Right?
It's a huge limitation.
So this can be a great tool for them. Now, this is talking to someone and you get to decide kind of, where you're charging. This is something, if you're like, this could be sold. And Blake and I, one of the videos that you guys end up watching, Blake and I talk about the higher ticket product that you'd be able to do like that. People sell it for $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever. Like it depends on how in-depth you want to get with your customer. And then if you could provide that extra little training, as long as you provide value for a customer and your value is there, right? Then it's worth it. There is a market out there for that.
How do people get over the initial hurdle of not having any results for themselves with this product?
Part of it's just, you show like, there's a whole other, I'll spend time on another.
Sorry, man. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm jumping the gun.
So all good. Guys, hopefully you got something out of this. I appreciate everybody's time. Pick up little bits. You can send me questions. If you've got certain topics, go like, I'm going to be going over, mindset, and I'm going to be going over success principles, and we're going to be going over, changing your relationship with finances and all of these different things typically on these calls, right? Occasionally I'll dive into topics like this. If you've got a topic, how do I talk to my family about this, right? If it's, I've got a significant other and they're not supporting me, or I've got a great partner but how do I do X, or I need to do this, or I struggle with my daily routine, whatever it may be. If you guys have something, I've got, my content calendar is full. I know what I want to talk about, but I'm more than happy to dive into certain topics if you guys express an interest. So feel free to email me and we can go into it. On that note, I'm going to end my calls. At some point, I'll tell you guys why I do this, but I always say, guys, find a way to rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenix. Go out and be amazing. Have an awesome day, guys. Whether you are early or it's late night where you're at. Ian, appreciate you popping on. I know. What time is it there, Ian?
It's 1:45 a.m.
You're phenomenal. You're a rock star. Thank you. All of you guys have an amazing day. Thanks for stopping in. We'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you soon. See you, Andrew. Cheers.